I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and with me today is a Mexican mathematician and Carcassonne master, former or present and future captain of Team Mexico at the World Championship and various international tournaments, and the author of a new popular Carcassonne variant, which we may or may not talk about the stream, Elias Mochan, also known with his screen name Complex VNH. Hi, Elias.
Hi, Alexey. Thanks for having me.
So we are about to witness, a little bit later than expected because the match was rescheduled at rather short notice, a Group H match of the Carcassonne Champions League 2025 between Oscar Agudo of Spain with the screen name Oscaridis and Marco Rivas of Mexico with the screen name manarori. You can see from the tournament table, which is really interesting, and that's also one of the reasons I got Elias in, so we will absolutely need your mathematics skills. So, Oscaridis is without victories, and they cannot qualify for the playoffs because there's only one match remaining, and you need to be in the top 3. And the current third place, Kaika 8-7 of Malaysia, currently is on 2 victories with a match to spare. But manarori can absolutely qualify, but it would require quite a specific sequence of events. And we were trying to figure it out just before going live. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Elias, if that's he and then one of these guys are going to have the same number of wins and also the same tiebreakers, then Marco will be the preference and he will be in third place.
Right, yeah. So I think the match between Posse 118 and Rabbit Rain has already happened, right?
Yes, and Rabbit Rain 120, we streamed that earlier.
Yeah. So Rabbit Rain has first place secured and Posse has second place secured.
I think so, yes. Well, okay, so Posse is currently has not been updated, has 7 games won and 2 and 4 games lost. So, yeah, this actually means secured because let's say if Kaika, let's say, wins his match 2-0, and by the way, Kaika is playing against Krakow Fundy, if I'm not mistaken, against also his direct competitor, then the best that Kaika can do is get 8 wins and 6 losses, so which will be a +2 difference, and Posse already has +3, so he's in firm second place. Rabbit Rain with 4 victories in firm first, and then the third place is up for grabs between these 3 players.
Yeah, exactly. So Marco needs to win and to at least tie the game difference with whoever wins between Kaika and Crocodile Fund.
So then in order for that to happen, he would need to win 2-0 or not necessarily. That's the question. So let's say if he wins 2-1, can he still qualify?
I think not, because he would be 6-6.
6-6.
Then whoever wins will have positive difference.
Will have positive difference. So this means that Marco needs to win 2-0, which would put him at 6-5, and then he would need what exactly? He would need for Kaika and Krakow Fundy for neither of them to win 2-0, right?
Yeah.
But here's
whoever
the thing.
Wins has to win 2-1.
Yes, actually, not one of them, but specifically Crocodile Fundy. Because if Krakow Fundy wins 2-1, his game lost, games won ratio will be 6-5. Mm-hmm. And because Marco already played Krakow, he's going to qualify via the tiebreaker of the mutual match.
Yes.
But if Kaika wins 2-1, then his tiebreaker is going to be 8-7. And even though manarori won against Kaika in their mutual encounter, this is not the next tiebreaker. The next tiebreaker, it is the absolute number of games won. So then Kaika would actually qualify. So then this means that today, in about 4 minutes, Marco will be trying to win 2-1 and then we'll be rooting very ardently, but not too ardently, for the American over the weekend, so that the American wins, but not too hard. So this is the plan, and I assume you will be... Well, I assume this won't be a particularly impartial stream.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody here is to support Spain, then please do so in the chat to balance out my special guest. In the meantime, hi Napalm, hi P-Chan, hi EM, hi Wise Maze. Oh yes, so you are... Obviously, my viewers are faster than us, but together we did figure it out. So we got the tournament table right. So, the first part about winning his own match 2-0, how likely is this? I know that you're rooting for your teammate, but who would you say has like the actual chance better, Oscaridis or Manarori, and how familiar are you with both of these players?
I am familiar with both, more with Marco. I think if he's not my most frequent player, he's top 3 for sure.
Well, we can check that. We still have 2 minutes before the match.
Yeah, I think he was my most frequent, but I think I have more games against you now.
Just doxing my Carcassonne addiction on stream, okay?
So, yeah, I have... Oh no, but I did something wrong. Let me...
So we can actually check that. Who's Jessie 13?
She was Marco's partner. They separated a few years ago. She was on Team Mexico in 2022, I think. She was on Team Mexico 1 year. She's Jessica Pereda. She also has... You are probably familiar with some of her drawings, including some cartoons made for the WTCOC.
I think so, yes. My viewers mostly will not be familiar with this because, well, maybe some of our more viewers who are also competitive players, they will have seen it. I actually have filtered now by Carcassonne. It turns out that you're Marco's second favorite. The first one's Lichi Ocampo by 50 games or something. So in any case, that was like a bit of a digression. But yeah, one thing, my observation about Marco is quite interesting. So you can see that at the moment he's rated 538, which is a bit greater than Oscar's 495. So both expert level ratings, and of course the peak rating of both of these players is higher, and both have national championship titles to their name, and also world championship appearances. The difference is that Marco made it the top 8, in fact the top 5 in 2023. But one thing about Marco that I've noticed is that he performs in tournaments much stronger than in casual games. I don't know how, but in tournament games he just wins. And then in casual games it can be, well, sometimes he wins, sometimes he doesn't.
Well, he also has a very deceiving elo most of the time because he registers for a lot of turn-based tournaments and he often doesn't have time to end them. So he loses a lot of elo and a lot of karma. And sometimes you see him with elos of 200 and 300, but we all know he's not a 200 or a 300.
Yeah, so easily plays at the level of 600. And also recently I streamed some of his matches at the Mind Sports Olympiad. Definitely thinking really fast, managing to also swindle some games which he had no business winning already.
The game is starting.
Yes, and it is already on screen. So, the Spaniard playing with his traditional blue meeples get the starting advantage, gets 4 points. Manarori with his traditional yellow is about to meeple a 2-point road. Both players are wishing fun in the chats to each other, but not good luck, noticeably. It's good, they're being honest.
Yeah. And Marco might be considering to meeple a 1-point road instead of a 2-point road. But no,
Just
he
for
goes for the
psychological effect? Demoralization?
No, to have a use for curves, like and to also like bound the field a little bit.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, so now of course the field is a bit open. There is a monastery spot over here. Oscaridis with a meeple on the city cab, not on the city cab, but on the cow. Knows his mini battles, enters in a good mini battle against yellow. Could either end up with a ruin or could maybe just build all the way around the square and complete himself a 6-pointer. No, not 6-pointer, 12-pointer or even more. Manarori with the city cap. Start a new city whilst also obstructing Oscaridis' city himself, but also creating his field. Oscaridis starts a new city at the bottom, but helps Marco's road. Not that he has a choice. Marco starts a new road, and the first monastery of the game goes for Oscaridis. He meeples it for 5 points straight up, which is the high scoring point on the board. Marco now, I presumably, finishes his city at the top and starts a new one. I will need to speak like this for a long time just because they are playing so fast. Oscaridis in particular, who now takes 2 points for a road. Yeah, okay, your turn, Elias. I'm out of breath.
The thing about the Oscaridis move with the city is that on one side it could be good for him because if they become mutually blocked, the Marcos road cannot grow anymore. But if they don't get mutually blocked, he just helped Marco close his road.
I think so, yeah. But then the sad part about that tile for blue, there wasn't really a productive place on the board. And so once you play this move, as you said, Elias, you're kind of committing yourself to the idea of actually blocking this square. And these 2 points certainly helped. I'm pretty sure that Oscar is going to use a straight line over here when he can. Especially since his city is quite damaged on the other side already through Marco's efforts.
Yeah, but he cannot block yet.
Yeah, neither players seem to be drawing a road tile. Well, I wonder if Marco chooses to save his road. No, he doesn't care about it. He starts a new city. Both players have dropped a farmer. Oscaridis scores 4 points, already 8 points ahead on the scoreboard. Marco is not getting himself a city cap, but he's getting himself a interesting cow tile.
This is a hard tile, I think.
It is very much, and he goes for very volatile positioning. He goes for just max points. And Oscaridis, I think...
Yeah, this is an interesting... He decides to block, but with a monastery. Well, there was a nice spot for the monastery already.
Also a gigantic mistake now from manarori, actually. I'm so surprised, because he's playing way too fast. So he drew this monastery over here. And he meepled it for 6 points. Well, 7, but it's net 6. Whereas actually he could have instead blocked Oscaridis' monastery over here by going 1 square higher, given the fact that blue just drew a monastery 1 turn ago, using it to block this road, as we said. And it seemed to me that maybe, because Marco didn't want to make this block, because from his point of view, there was still 1 more monastery in the deck, and he kind of still didn't adjust his mind to the fact that there are no monasteries in the deck anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that has happened to me in many occasions, actually. That you have a play in your head and you forget to count for the opponent's tile when you make the move.
Exactly. So now he will kind of need to deal with this. Just it's important not to tilt and still... Well, continue defending what has become a worse position for a variety of reasons. Well, first of all, the scoreboard advantage belongs firmly to the Spaniard. Also, this city is now incredibly dangerous as it is 1 tile away from getting blocked, and we don't have ourselves a defense tile. This road has some difficulties. It's still possible to get themselves a starting tile and then maybe something here to get a meeple back, and then block Oscaridis' meeple, which is quite likely, but some time before that can happen. So this is a sort of tension, this is a source of tension. Now Marco breaks the city at the left, and Oscaridis with a blocking tile immediately uses it to not only block 2 of Yellow's meeples, but also drop a farmer to fight for the big field. Immediately gets the connection, and the field, of course, favors the person with the long-term meeple advantage, which is oscaridis. Although...
Yeah, Marco could try to separate the fields, but...
But he doesn't.
That's the opposite. Okay.
I wonder why he would do that. Maybe he's counting on blocking this city on the left, and that way he would have 1 block meeple for himself, and Marco would have 1 block meeple as well, and so the count would be equal, and then maybe later he can go over here. Actually, he can now go over here.
Now he's going to save his,
Exactly. So actually now, somehow, like, this is what I said about Marco. Like, he always finds these sort of swindles. From a meeple minority, he goes to a meeple majority. Well, not yet, but like 75% chance to draw this tile, and then after that, it says not that hard to finish this road. This city on the left, although it's kind of an issue, it has become into a real threat. So Oscar did a really nice job building this up, and now it looks like a real threat, not only for points, but for pure completion. It's now like already 8 points, so it's going to be upwards of 20 upon completion. It's really, really a lot.
Yeah, and I wanted to count how many Doritos with road were left before Marco's move, but he already made the move, and he already made the next move. I don't think they are counting. I think that's just intuition.
I think they are counting because it was actually quite a good block, because there's only 1 Dorito with a road remaining. Even though Oscar completely covered up,
Oof.
he will actually...
I was afraid of meepling that city precisely because of this.
That wasn't imprecision. It was much, much better for Marco to turn this tile the other way. Then he would have completed this city. Then he would have exposed the platform. And ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. A meeple truly blocked for Yellow. And this match could lose...
He can pre-close his road now, because Oscar already needs the Dorito elsewhere.
But he didn't notice it. He did not notice it. Ay, 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 ay. Just 2 points. This cannot possibly be correct. And Oscar, now with aggressive scoring, does not take quick points, but instead meeples a road with chances for even more points. 6 points open-ended, still a couple of crossroads remaining in the deck. Marco really needs to find some sort of crossroads plus starting tile in order to have a chance in this game. And actually, I think it's sort of kind of possible. Also, we notice how Oscar gets himself a tile, which he uses in an interesting way. He sort of covers up Marco's ruin, does not let it develop, but at the same time obstructs his own road a little bit. Okay, will now Marco find the road and move? There's almost nowhere to score. Okay, there are 2 points at the top, but...
Yeah. So the thing now is that, is the city blocked, or are there left side daggers yet left? He goes for the block.
Yeah, and it now will work. But then I wonder if it was just okay to leave the city alone, because as Yellow, our position is not great, and there was already only 1 tile remaining for this square and 1 tile remaining for that square. So maybe the 25% chance is something that we could live with. But again, Marco with quick points out of nowhere also gets another dagger and 4 more points, and suddenly he's just simply ahead on the scoreboard, and he can win without having really many meeples. 9 tiles in the deck.
11-point difference. The small block city of Marco compensates the small block city of Blue. The monasteries compensate each other. And well, Blue has the big road and the big ruin.
Yeah, but wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this all compensates each other. I guess that's what you meant. Yeah, so the road plus this, then whatever. Okay, that works. So what are we having? Basically, it's just the ruin, right? So math. 10 points for the ruin. So Oscar is literally 1 point behind, And I think he makes a brilliant move. He wants to use the 75%, and actually it's more, it's really closer to 80%, chance of drawing one of the two starting tiles and invading the field through Marco's road, and it is completely blockable. And he succeeds in doing so.
But there's a 6-point field on top. So,
But the main field is 15. I'm not sure about that.
yeah.
Do you think Marco can just outrun Oscaridis? Because this move...
I think it's possible. Not sure, but I think it depends on if Oscaridis gets some tile for his road.
There's a particular tile, there's one umbrella remaining which could decide the fate of this game. If Marco gets an umbrella tile, he gets to go over here and get his road meeple back. But if Oscaridis gets an umbrella tile, he gets to go over here and get his road meeples back. So it's really just flipping for that particular tile, and the odds are not great for Marco because from his perspective, there's 7 unseen tiles.
I think Marco should create a 10-point city and not take it. Just leave it open.
Oh, this is smart. So let's say he goes here. Then if Oscaridis gets some sort of city cap, he has to go here to clean this off. But then we maybe get to claim a 9-point field. Also, it is important to realize that actually we're not so far, and he goes for it. So we know that members of Team Mexico think alike, but immediately the city is broken.
I think he can block the road now, right? That's the last one? Yeah.
He can block the road, but then the question is, should he? Because he still is not scoring any points. Because it is possible that maybe he just needs to hope for this tile himself. He does succeed with the block, and we're going to find out soon enough whether it is justified. And I think that's it.
Doesn't.
He's just going to take a 6-point field and that's it.
Yeah.
And there isn't really anything that he can do. So that's why I was wondering, maybe a move for us was actually to go over here and claim the field and then hope to score one more closed city on the field for 9 points instead of 6. Maybe that would have been enough. I doubt so, because if I'm not mistaken, the field was 15 points, so 12 points should be the difference now.
Oh, but he now does not take the... I think Oscar missed the move there.
Oscar missed the move?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what I was thinking. If Oscar puts this umbrella on the 6-point field, Marco can't take the 6-point field. But as we saw, he can take a 7-point city, which is better.
So then actually Oscaridis could have gone over here, trying to block that city a little bit.
Yeah, and then... Yeah, that's worth 1 point. It's better than...
But then still, the Spaniard wins just because of this farming invasion. That's really, really nice spatial find. And are you kidding me?
1 point.
1 point is the score? Yeah, so the farm was, of course, with 15 points. We just sort of forgot to add that as a result of this farm invasion, Blue was forced to build up Marco's road a little bit, but still not enough for Marco to actually get over the edge. So in order for the Mexican to have won this game, he would need to score quick points and then drop a farmer or meeple a new city. So that's why this tile was so important.
So maybe blocking was correct with the hopes. Well, I don't know the odds, but the hope being you get the umbrella and get a meeple back. So you meeple the field with 1 meeple and meeple something else with the other meeple you get with. Well, but you have to meeple like what? The road, right? The 2-point road when you close your.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you hope for the umbrella, then there's no point in blocking, because the umbrella is the only tile that Oscar can get his road meeple back.
Yeah, right. Game 2 is on its way now.
So yeah, manarori now with the starting player advantage. Now, we know, I'm not sure if Marco knows that he needed exactly a 2-0 win, so this probably means that he will not be able to qualify for the playoffs. But
I think he knows.
You think he knows, yeah? Because, like, I know that Marco is somebody who doesn't tend to care a lot about tournament math and stuff like this. I would expect him to just play. In any case, game 2, still a lot to fight for. I know, especially for Oscaridis, he will be motivated to get himself a first win. He was actually very close to a stunning upset as he took one game off from then highest rated player online, Rabbit Rain. Just didn't manage to convert this into a full match win. So very interesting position here as Marco is, or was, with a scoreboard lead and now isn't, and now is enjoying 2 monasteries, a very early farmer, and almost blocked city. But sometimes the best way to deal with blocked cities is to block your opponent's cities in response, as he's putting a lot of pressure on this here blue guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I actually like the last meeple on the monastery here, but I hate the orientation. And yet again, it somehow works. Like, he knows something that I don't about this game. Blue, in the meantime, manages to fully block Yellow City. And Yellow was trying to respond in kind, but Blue, with a quick draw of a starting tile, will make now life very, very difficult for Marco here.
Yeah, so the problem for Marcus is that he has 3 meeples against 1, depending on 1 tile with 2 outs left. It was 3 when he defended, but his opponent already had the second crossroads in hand.
Yeah, and it certainly doesn't help that he has a road at the top, which also requires pretty much similar tiles. He's now getting blocked over here, and there's only 1 dagger that fits into this square, so
and Oscar gets another one of these.
Yeah, so this is the last tile which would have fit into this square, meaning that this monk, this road meeple,
right?
This monk is trapped, this field meeple is trapped, this guy's trapped, and this guy's almost trapped. There's 1 dagger and 1 dagger only remaining into this square.
There's 1 crossroads left, right?
Oh, right. Oh wait, I was gloating prematurely. Yeah. There is 1 crossroads left, of course. You told me, because it just looked so dramatic when you said that this depends on 1 tile, meaning this depends on 1 kind of tile. So yeah, of course, Marco can still win this. He's only 24 points and 5 meeples down. I mean, what could possibly go wrong for the Mexican in this game? As Oscaridis is now threatening a 26-point city out of nowhere. Man, this must be fun if you're Spanish. Oh, look, did you see that move, Elias?
Yeah.
So this is to rub it in, like the 3-point monastery meeple just before Marco drew a crossroads to get his road meeple back. This blocked even this guy at the north. Okay, do you think, Elias, that Oscar will successfully complete his city? And Oscar is not even waiting for your answer. Oh, this is just not safe for work. Good time that we are.
As Marco, I would have probably expanded the city directly just to avoid that. Oh yeah, this is brutal. Oh, and he gets the tile that would have freed the other monastery. I don't know, was that the last right-handed dagger?
There was only one right. Yes, I think so. So this is blocked. Now, how are we doing for that crossroads? You know, like, the morbid part of me kind of wants Oscar to draw the crossroads. Because, like, if you see devastation, you just want to just double and triple.
I think Marco will get it as the very last tile.
Oh, that would certainly also be another way to rub this in. Look at how many farmers Oscar had. It's gonna be like a 70-point difference or something.
Yeah.
And Oscar got the crossroads. Oh, look at this! This is just gloating.
That's just disrespectful, yeah. And yeah, he could have done the same by adding it to his monastery instead of Marcos.
Yeah, or he could have just gone over here for a 6-point field, I guess. That would have been like the more precise. Okay, so he did concede Marco's 6 points, sort of ruining the statistics a little bit, because Marco's meeple's place count was probably something like 11 max, whereas Oscar's is close to 25.
Yeah, he had 10 points from what? He had like 2 4-point cities and a 2-point road, something like that. I think it was 2 3-point roads and 1 4-point city. And everything else was blocked.
So what is the final score difference? Almost 50. It actually seems pretty close. Way closer than I expected.
So I think Oscar ruined his own chances of lapping Marco.
Right, yeah. All he had to do is just keep himself that extra meeple. Wait, so what's the meeple placed? Actually, yeah, 11. Told you 11. So it would have been just 10, which is also really low. For those of you who don't know, the lowest that you can possibly have is 7. Unless, of course, you play completely cooperatively, which you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, like, it sort of ended a bit, maybe not how you hoped it would end for Marco. And as you see, they're also discussing in the chat that they were aware of the tournament situation. So Marco is saying that he had to win 2-0 in order to qualify. And then Oscar wasn't really following the situation. So he was the one who posed the question.
Yeah.
What's agobiante?
I'm thinking agobiante. It's like overwhelming.
So yeah, saying that the last game was a lot of fun. Maybe a bit facetiously saying this.
So you can see that they both had 14 road points.
I want to look at those city points. Okay, 62 versus 11. That's also some statistic.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this. Like
of those 11, like 6 were the final turn. So Marco had, and 1 was the 1-point city. So 7 were blocked cities, which means. 7 points on block city. So he closed a 6-point city at some point. I don't see a 6-point city. I'm confused. Or did I make bad calculations? I think.
But does he have to close a city though?
So it's 11.
Yeah, because he meepled the 6-point city like at the very end.
Yeah, and he had a 1-point city blocked. So those are 7.
And I think he took a city cap.
Okay, 11 minus 7 is not 6, is 4. So
Yes.
he closed one city.
That is PhD in mathematics for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he closed one city and I think two roads. So that's all that. And then the monastery is at the very end. But
Well, anyway, that was surprisingly a lot of fun. So the board game arena game developers apparently let their intrusive thoughts win today with these style draws. But yeah, sometimes the game is like this. Also note that the players spent less than 5 minutes combined of thinking time,
yeah,
which is way less than what we had earlier today, because it's also like some nice change of pace in the morning. I'm not sure if you saw the morning streams. I guess it was a bit early in Mexico, but the battle between Posse and Rabbit Rain, it was like super blocky. They just like fought super hard for each point. At the end, Rabbit Rain won by 3. Sorry for the spoiler, but I guess you can see it on the scoreboard anyway. And this is just the opposite, just open, bam, 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 score. So a lot of fun. Maybe less fun for Marco than it was for Oscar, but a solid performance, and he will probably stay 4th in the group. Actually, no, he will stay 5th in the group, sadly for him, because with this tiebreaker, he is now on 2 matches won in 3 matches lost, 4 games won, and 7 games lost. And even if Kroko loses 2-0 to Kaika, then he's going to still be ahead of the Mexican by tiebreaker. So now everything in Group H has been resolved. The only thing that has not been resolved is the actual winner of the 3rd place, and this will be decided into a head-to-head battle between Malaysia and the United States.
the battle of the red and white stripes.
Exactly, yes. And let's try and guess when that could happen. So we don't really have other streams scheduled so far. Well, I guess tomorrow, 13:30 UTC, I will be streaming the 2023 World Champion with the screen name StatMat playing against Easton of Hong Kong. By the way, also for the qualification spot. Although this is also one of those situations where Mats is fighting for his position in the group, as he has already allowed himself the qualification. But for Easton, it is a must-win situation. There's also one thing that I want to check before we leave. Also, hi Marco. My commiserations, but I do appreciate the entertainment provided by your match. Wait. Oh yeah, so basically we can go here in the update section and see if there's some matches been scheduled that have not been published. So Wise Maze versus Paksha is not something that I would like to be able to cover, and in any case it is Friday rather than tomorrow. Board Guard Yuha name is an interesting one, which I may or may not be able to cover. No, I will be able to cover that because that's Saturday. That's lovely. Azul, the Mind Sports Olympic Grand Prix in Azul, is on Sunday. So then there is no clash. Yeah, and then the other updates are just results. So I guess tomorrow is a stream, and then after that we can talk. So before we leave, Elias, I don't know, out of all the matches that are going to happen, scheduled and unscheduled one, is there anything particular that you're looking forward this week?
So let me see again. So I saw Board Guard, but what was? Where do I see the matches scheduled? I got lost. Sorry.
Board Guard will be playing against Yuhai Hanemi of Taiwan in Group G.
Oh, that's probably too early for me if both are Asian.
Oh yeah, no, that's another one. The one that's too early for you, that's Wise Maze Paksha.
Oh, but at what time do they play? Board Guard
Yuha Haneme is 1600 UTC, Saturday.
Oh, okay, that's good actually.
Oh, yeah, and this was also going to be for the playoffs, where, well, the Vietnamese has the chances of playoffs, and he will just need to perform better against Juhai Hanemi than Erwin would need to perform against Warta. So sort of that's the plan, with one player playing a certain way and then rooting against another player in another duel. Anyway, we'll get there when we get there. Short evening stream. Make sure to just meeple the like button quickly before you leave for the algorithm. That would be nice. Then thank you so much, Elias, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon. Right, I've ended this